Take us while doing the exercise. Okay. Repeat.
So on the elements, I'll go by one, the ones that are tackled. So physically, I'd say that my well-being is healthy and positive. For the emotional one, a bit unstable, it's 50-50. Rather, yeah, it's a bit, it's a bit personal, but emotionally it's 50-50. For the community-wise, how I relate with the community, it's also, I can say it's positive, it's safe, it's reliable, yeah. Then I tackled the last one, it was financial well-being, which is unstable, and it's, I personally, I usually have issues like budgeting, yeah, and of the sort. On the two most challenging points, the most challenging points in my, regarding the elements, it will be financial and emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
So financial and emotional. These are the two main points.
Yeah.
You know, if you tackle and you put
problems,
the
yeah,
plans.
I need an action plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Action plan. Okay. Since this is personal, it's up to you. Financial, most of us here are employee mindset, right? So you have the mindsets of people when it comes to cash flow. For employee, okay, you have the people who manage small business, or the self-employed people, or people who work based on commission, and then you have investors, people who just put money somewhere, and just like the start when he came here, the guy who sat in the back, he has cash, he put it somewhere. That's a different mindset on how they manage cash flow. Even the way he look at inflation was completely different than us, right? To him it's beneficial for them, so they look at things differently. And then you have people who manage big businesses, right? Each one look at cash flow differently. And the challenge of employees is, let's say, this is my income. Usually we tend to spend here, a little bit above or on it. If we do budgeting, we'll be able to spend at this level. So when you spend at this level, by default, this line will start to go up. But if you spend on it, you'll stay on the same place. You stay over it, will go down, right? So this is the budgeting what will clarify for you. Again, same concept, reverse thinking. Instead of day to day, you zoom out, you look at them full month. This is the cash income, this is my cash flow, right? This is how I spend it, this is the leftover. Now how can I play around with it? Maybe Dr. Mohammed don't agree on this, it's a bit capitalist mindset. But for me personally, I tried it this month and I saw the difference. Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
يذكروا عن نتفلكس شنو في نتفلكس؟
هذه مال شو اسمه ديفيد كيوساكي Rich Dad Poor Dad. He has it this way. The cash flow quadrant. Dr. Mohammed, you want to share?
لا أنا I want to hear from them. They can hear better.
Can you start? That but any person who talks late or who sits last of them.
Yes.
Okay, let me start now.
Yes.
Yes.
For physical, you have told us that you have to ask yourself, do I have the energy to make things done?
Yes.
That's what you PowerPoint. So for the energy, alhamdulillah, I can add any task of my capacity.
Except magic, it's not good.
Yes, except that at Monday I was beaten, but the next time I will be able to make it. Do I have, for having ability to make things done, what I want to do?
Yes.
I cannot say that's 100%.
Okay.
I can do some, and some of them I can need help from others.
Yes. Yes.
For relational, about in the society.
I think physical well-being, the top here is Shaddad, huh? Physical abilities is top. Yes. With his karate skills.
Yes.
Saeed, you do karate as well?
Relational. I'm going to talk about relation.
Yes.
This relation also entails or contains the way you intervene in the society, the way society perceives you, how you deal with it. So, having relationships. For this, I think, where I stand now, I think that I have a good social status. I interact with the people, I befriend them, but not at the percentage I want. Yes, because no one is loved by every people, and every people cannot love, and one cannot love every people. So it's somehow different. So that's where I stand now. I want, it is not, I thank it, I'm grateful for it, but not at the point I want to improve. Regarding emotional, how do I manage my emotions? Me, I believe that my emotions are like my opponents sometimes.
Your opponent?
Because sometimes they get uncontrollable.
Okay.
Just like a way I cannot control, for example, may Allah protect you from that. If side wants to fight me, I cannot be able to control myself.
Yes.
Sometimes my emotions also, it gets difficult for me to control them. So there is me and the other opponent who are emotions, which are sometimes fight with it, and I'm beaten by them. For them, if I want to cry, I try myself not to cry, but it finally comes. That's how I am not able to manage them like I want. So here, I don't think it is 100%. Regarding my experience and the gratitude. So I'm grateful. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful. 100%. Now I do it's 100%. The community, which I think it has somehow relation with the relation one.
They get interacted. Huh?
Yes.
There is integration between them.
They complement each other.
Definitely.
The community, I cannot say what is different from what I said about relational. It is in a good status, but it still needs improvement.
Yes.
Intellectual. I need to increase my capacity of thinking.
Okay.
So Alhamdulillah, the status I am now, because I didn't even expect to reach there, but I expect to improve. Yes. Regarding the career, how I interact with my bosses, it is in a good condition. But yes.
Just kidding.
The good witness that I sat in the right side of my boss. If we are not in the good condition, I will not sit here. Yes, that's a point and an evidence that is good, but it is improvement. I needed to do good things for them just to make it better.
Okay.
For financial, I am still poor, can't afford all my needs. So, and I'm still looking for the way. So it is 20%. That's what I did. And regarding budgeting them, I try to budget properly what I get as income. That's all. Thank you.
So you behave out of the mindset of good is the enemy of great. I'm good, but I want better.
Yes.
Right? Because if you're happy with being good, you'll never be great. Right?
Yes.
And as you said, when it comes to the intellectual ability, the relationship, it's good, but you want better. Right?
Yes.
How it will get better? Once you acknowledge the progress you're in. So instead of looking forward, take a pause and reflect back, connecting the dots, right? Look at yourself 6 months ago. Yesterday we had this conversation, right? I told you what you have learned the past 3 months. Yeah, right? So you have to reflect and understand how much you grew the past few months. And we had this conversation as well yesterday, downstairs with Harwa, about the skills that you accumulated since you started this new job. So yes, it's sometimes the vision gets a bit hazy to know where am I going, but to have more clarity, I need to pause and look back. How much improvement I've done. Why? Because in shakartum nazidannakum, right? To have gratitude and to have flourishment, you need to be grateful to what you have today. Only then the flourishment will come. Otherwise, if you're always struggling with it, always fighting it, it will take you nowhere. Cool?
Yes.
Answer your question?
Okay.
Hopefully. Next.
Thanks.
And then when it comes to emotional, I can say it's 50-50.
Emotional activity.
Yeah. And then when it comes to community and safety, it's positive. And then when it comes to shopping intellectually, it's also positive. And then when it comes to my career, I still need to improve because where I am, I'm graduate, but I want to
Go
improve,
for more.
to go for more. And then about financial income and budgeting, I cannot say it's middle because I still want to go for more.
There are always room for improvement.
Yeah,
Right.
always looking for improvement. That's what.
Nice. Nice. You know, since you said relationship, three of them are good.
Yeah.
By research, they found that spending 1 hour a day with the people that you care about and they care about you, it has a bigger impact on your well-being on day-to-day basis more than anything else.
Yeah.
Right? And they found that spending time with them in reality, physically, or by a phone call or by a video call is significantly better than texting only. Texting can have, to some point it's good, more than that it can have the adverse effect.
Yeah.
So if you're very good at this and you make sure that day to day you have at least 1 hour just to have a conversation with, you're very rich. You're very rich in terms of relationships.
Yeah.
Right? When it comes to career, right? We'll tap into this in a bit to tackle it precisely for you. Sure. Victor?
So I forgot at the beginning the most important things for me, which is the physical and relation. I start with emotion and like this. But when you start talking, then I remember that. Anyway, first thank you, Ahmed, and this is interesting. And also, these things, most of us we know it, but we don't practice it. So this session is a good thing, and it's like emphasizing the importance of practicing. Of course, the physical, as you can see, it's not good. And I can't say even 50% maximum. Because it's not helping me to do whatever I want. Now, for example, just was talking about Mauritania. I go to Mauritania 4 times, but I feel with time, I can't afford because the country is dusty, it's need lots of physical, especially when you go to the desert, the cars, they get, stuck and so on. You need to push the car. It's very hot. So physically, I'm not fit anymore. Every time I grow up, I feel I'm not fit yet. Many places I hesitated to go because of that. There is mountain areas where I hesitated to go so far because of that. For example, I was supposed to go to Albania. To Nepal. Albania and go. But to Nepal, but I cancelled because of the heights there and the oxygen and so much as I need oxygen when I go up here. So this is for the physical, and I'm not doing many things, and maybe I'm also now trying now to finish from this HIC thing or this the institute, so that since I reach approximately whatever I want to reach for this work, at least for now, I feel I should take care more of my physical health, and this is one of my plans, inshallah. For the relations, that I'm not happy with my family relation, not from my side, but from the other side. But I'm trying as much as I can. Of course, my relation with my mother, and I think, and I'm proud and I claim nobody can copy it. Alhamdulillah. With also my family members, but I'm saying the other people or the new generation like yours, these are the ones which I'm worried about. And it affects me because I'm very emotional. Even though I try to be strong, but inside I'm very emotional. Of course, the important thing is about the personal voice. Alhamdulillah, it's very clear. Sound as a whistle. Okay, and I think this is started since 2012. So I've been investing on that actually. And for that I'm very confident. And you see, even when we went the HIC, always I talk to Khadija and so on. And the HIC will help us a lot when you get accredited to reach our goals. Our goal is much more than just doing projects and doing workshops and so on. But maybe something else is written for us. The emotion is a little bit challenging again. Now I'm moving from gratitude, and even my father used to tell me, "You're not having enough gratitude. You should always thank God." Now I always tell my children the same way, by the way. I tell them, you're lucky, you know, because they never got real challenges that I've seen all over the world. Okay, everything for them is easy. They go into medicine or they do engineering, something. Everything they wanted, they reached it faster than others. They had a good family. Not everybody is lucky like this, you know?
Yes.
So for me, I feel I am now starting to move from gratitude, especially after my father died, because always I remember this message from him. To nourishment, but this is very difficult. And it's going and coming. It's like, you know, waving, escalating up, down. Sometimes I forget, no? For nourishment. Because, gratitude is alhamdulillah, always I say alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Not saying it, but I know it from inside. And I am lucky, including lucky to have you. Always I say that to you also. Anyway, for the community, well, here I differ, Ahmed. And by the way, if I put it again, I will redefine this all different perspective, which is maybe in the end of the workshop. I will tell you how I look at this. But it's community, because I like to contribute. For me, safety is important, but it's not the top one. Okay, I go to countries where there's no safety. Okay, I chose in Rwanda to safe, because here I will establish an institute. But if I'm doing projects and it have to be safe, and I would like the community, you know, many communities I don't like to live in, but I have to contribute to the community. The more I contribute, the more I feel my well-being is better. So even though my physical well-being is not fit like you guys, but I'm replacing this, compensating for this from this area. Alhamdulillah, I feel that's also very, very good. Actually, always I feel I want to do more. Then I feel that whatever I have done so far is not my ambition. It's much more. My ambition is much, much more. For the intellectual, since as I told you, 2012, I'm exploiting my brain.
Exploiting my brain.
Yeah. Okay. You know, really, my brain, I feel it's been like stuck for many years with many things, which is good considered to others, like being expert for government like this. But I feel I could have done much better for the world if I started earlier. And I'm trying to do something now, which is like the next, if I live for 10 years, and to how much I can double my contribution to the world through different techniques. But time is a problem. Time is very important. Now the career, I feel first of all, even though I open many institutes around the world, but I feel, and I work more than 30 type of jobs, okay, which is very rare in any human's life.
That's why you're very fast for us, huh?
Yeah, and I lived in many. I was an officer in the army. This guy, so yesterday my picture. You should show what Khadija.
I did.
You did without my permission? -$1.
He was in the library.
Okay. Show her what I'm saying. Okay, so anyway, the many careers and so on made me appreciate, first of all, what I'm doing now. And I appreciate also, by the way, even my people, these guys, because as I told you, even though I open many institutes and many societies around the world and so on, but now I'm doing something different. Before, I used to go from one place to the other and I do these institutes and so on. And then I leave it for the people and so on. Here, no, I'm here. It's like I am concluding my journey. I'm relevant to academic, if we go to academic. And also bringing everything together. It's like Expo, and now it makes like the picture now started to be clear again. Because we started the concept in 2015, we didn't know what is inspiration from Now I am considered the expert in the work. I'm the reference, and so on. And that's makes it now. I should now go faster. Okay. If I get the right people, of course. Inshallah, these are the ones. These are the seats. And I consider them. They are the seats, inshallah.
It makes sense when you push them in.
Huh?
It makes sense when you
Yeah. And for me, they are not employees. For me, they are my students. For me, they are potential students. Even I was talking to how can I even Saeed and Shaddad, I take them to a higher level, which is so far I'm failing. I always tell Khadija, she knows that also. Then I'm worried later when things are opening up. If we get accredited, things will go faster. Many people will come. They'll get lost if they don't have their own identity and culture and connection. And I don't want this to get lost. And this is where now it is the culture we can create and so on. The financial, alhamdulillah, I gone beyond, beyond this financial issue. Not because I am, alhamdulillah, rich, not rich in money, but rich in thinking about financial. Okay. Otherwise, I would have sit at home and manage our assets and so on, or something like this. Seeing the big picture, I believe it will help you to see the financial wealth. If these guys, I know their situation. I know that she's the mother. She wants to also have better salary. He's supporting his family and so on. Saeed same thing. Herwa same thing. But time will come. I believe that time will come. Maybe after 10 years, maybe 5 years. I don't know how long it will take them. That they will see the big picture. Yes, we started with 150. But we built an organization and we built ourselves through that. Later when their salary or $3,000 or whatever, it will be like a story. I started from that and I know that value. Okay. Even the army was, as you know, I was talking, even with all these responsibilities, I was taking much lower than when I went to the Japanese, when I moved to Singapore, when I moved to Japan, whatever, the whole story. So for me now I see the big picture. And it's not about how much hard you work. Okay? It's about being selective in what you do and understand your role, what you want, why you are here. Why you are here today. This is what's making the financial thing. And for that you can see, even I'm selling my assets like this. And I came to a level and security is inside. This is something that's not easy for especially for a young generation. Maybe now you started to realize it. After maybe say how many years in Dubai, making good mashallah income, you want jazz and so on. But now
10 years of working,
10 years of working and so on. Now you start to feel and you don't care. You are not trying to please your boss because of this is not easy. Okay. Even for especially people who are near the money too much. Even more difficult than to them. So I feel, but I like by the way a lot this remembering self and experiencing self. Because this is relevant to visualization and these things.
We'll take a few notes. Why this is important for SIAS members for the Organisational economy? Because having high level of well-being has direct correlation with your ability to solve the problems and your innovation skills, right? So the more you are in equilibrium status, homeostasis status, the more you can think better, be more rational. Why? The brain has two components.
More well-being, powerful, more ability to solve problems. Nice. Very nice formula.
So the higher the well-being, the more it can solve problems. Why? Our brain has two components. We have the rational part, which is the logical thinking, and we have the stressful part or the anxious part, the part with an anxiety. And interestingly, they don't work together. If one of them is working, the other one is off. So if you're anxious, you're stressed, and you're too focused on one thing to do something, your brain has to think rationally. So you need to balance it up, have it more balanced, to be able to take rational decisions.
Like when you work in the library, you become stressed.
And because we get to spend as employees most of our day during work, to have higher level of impact on our well-being, career well-being is very important for us. As direct, so as we said, the relationship is on day-to-day basis. Overall, career is very important, right? Last one was very important. Was very interesting to me. I was into this category until a few months ago, and here I noticed a big shift in my life. I was very focused on the financial thing. Now I don't have any to work more, day and night, 7 days a week, up to 10, 11 hours a day, just working, grinding day and night, because I feel I don't have enough. Until I came across this book, which I'll show it to you. I should have got one for the library. They did a study for people. They had these elements of well-being, and they gave them coins, blue coins. And according to the importance of the well-being, they allocate certain points. They realize that the people who are focused mainly on financial well-being who are the least happy, and they were the most depressed. Who are people who give equal opportunity and attention to each one, they were the happiest. So the more you have them in front of you balanced, the happier you get. And the happier you are, the better thing comes across your way. As you are walking, things come toward you, the more balanced you are.
I didn't get the second point.
Second point,
Yeah.
career well-being.
لا لا second point قصدي يعني my financial.
Yes.
أنت قلت before concentrating, those was concentrating.
Okay.
On financial, they were less happy.
Yes.
What's the second point?
Second point, the people who give equal attention toward the all elements. So they have these coins, right? So let's say 7 points, and they give them 140 coins.
Ah, okay.
So people who added 20 for each were the happiest. People who had more coins toward the financial well-being, they were the least happy, or the most depressed. Yeah? Okay. So to finalize this topic before we jump to the next topic. So the next topic will jump into the career well-being into more details. I will tackle the benefits of the career.
احنا can we stop here after
Sure,
this?
sure.
يعني قصدي ليش؟ And tomorrow we can continue to the second part.
Sure.
Second
part
by the
is
way.
short. Yeah.
Huh?
The second part is
No,
short.
I was even tomorrow.
Okay,
It's
sure.
good to live يعني this experience with you. Yes.
Sure. So yesterday, Prophet Muhammad guided me to have a formula to make things clearer. So the formula of well-being is how do I want to feel, who I want to be, equals what do I need to do, the action plan that we did. So it's feel plus be equals do. Write it down. Feel plus be equals do. Now the exercise we did was the step right before this formula. Now we clarified everything. We had all the well-beings in front of us. It's all written. I can see my life in front of me. Where do I stand in each? The top 2 points that I need to tackle. And based on that, I would like to know how do I want to feel, right? Why? Because I need to be a person to get things done that I want to do, the person that I want to reach. Who do I aspire to be to have an impact in the society and the community? Based on that, I'll know what to do next, which is the action plan we have to reach the person we want to be.
We can continue this tomorrow. It will be good. عشان بعد like again wrapping up whatever we learned today. Then the idea is not يعني much information. Practicing is our problem is practicing.
Yes. I did not bring anything new. It's all in front of us. I just kept it.
Yeah, it's good, mashallah. The way you are putting it is good. What is this one? You put the scale. You didn't explain it.
Okay. The scale, when you were talking, there is a scale for how do I rank myself. So if you want to make it like numbers, right? So we have 3 points in every point. So am I struggling? Am I surviving? Or am I thriving? Right? So 0 to 4 is struggling. 4 to 7 is surviving. 7 to 10 is thriving. So let's say if you want to measure it by numbers. Some people like numbers, right? So you can put numbers for every single component and then decide So you have these numbers for each and every one. If you like to take it to the next step, if you very focused on numbers in the capitalist mindset, you transfer this into numbers and you find the least 20% by numbers. You tackle them because you know, okay, let's say I score 3 and 4 on emotional and intellectual, right? Because I need to reach, let's say 6 and 8, and I'll be happy. The whole average will be different.
For each one of them?
Yes. So each one of them, you put them on this metric, and then you can do the math to have, let's say, one particular number.
Nice. Very nice scale.
Thank you.
Remind me of the scale that I told you to take photo and this and the museum.
I have them outside the museum.
That's very nice. Good scale. Even overall, even I think even now, each one of us should try to you see, running away from being struggling, good enough to know where we are.
Yes.
So that you move to the next stage.
Do I
target.
work?
Yes.
Do I work?
Yes. At a certain time of my life, I was struggling. Certain time, I was surviving. Especially when after I get married. Yes. Okay.
Not good.
Yes. Especially if you marry more than one wife, by the way. Also you get more. Yes.
It's like that.
Okay. So then thriving, frankly, after you get married for all what you want with wives, you come to that level. Thanks a lot. Let's give applause for Ahmed. Very good. I told you you have some things, but maybe after you finish today.
Just to recap, the well-being have 7 elements: the physical, relational, emotional, intellectual, the community well-being, the career, and the finance. We went through them.
We started to practice now. You see, I did the exercise.
Yes. So we tackle the physical well-being today. We'll tackle the career well-being in a different. We'll go in depth a little bit today just to understand it. It's a very quick presentation today. So we went through all of this. Career, yeah. So I like what I do, my relationship with my manager, and my benefits as well. We'll dig into deep understanding of how does benefit work as an employees. Okay. So then the exercise here. So when it comes to career well-being and benefits, usually there are 6 human needs, which if we take them and we apply them in any organizations, any employee needs these 6 elements, and yesterday you brought up one of them, which is the social perception. Okay, so first thing is first, as an employee, I want a salary, right? It's my money I'm getting compensated for the amount, for the value creation that I'm doing in any company. Second thing is the status, right? A title, a position, or the social perception I get. Then the autonomy, how much freedom do I have to do whatever I want within this organization? Third thing is affiliation, the sense of belonging to this place. Do I have a shared identity with these people? Do we look the same? Do we share the same values? The sense of affiliation is very important. And then the achievement. What am I learning here? What competence I'm growing?
You're going too fast there for me. And status, the social rank, the prestige.
Yes.
The esteem in the eyes of the other.
Yes. It's the social perception.
Okay, and then
the autonomy I have in this company. How much restriction I have to do whatever what I want, and how much freedom do I have. And this point we'll tackle it more. Specifically this point I will cover 2 main things: level of trust and how we develop trust, and how we develop the value of not competence. We were saying the other day in the museum.
Nourishment?
No, not nourishment. Accountability.
Yes.
Yes. So we talk about accountability and level of trust, and how we can reach.
So which one you are talking about accountability?
Autonomy. Okay. So to have freedom, I need to have responsibility as well as responsibility and authority. Right. And our authority comes by trust. We cultivate trust to reach autonomy. affiliation, sense of belonging, the friendship that we have in our workplace, the common things, the common values that we have with the people. And then the achievement, we had a very good conversation with her the other day about the progress, about what we learn, about how we grow competence by doing things. And then morality, the virtue, I'm doing a good thing in humanity, right? Which is reflects again on the social perception, since we're doing something good here. Socially speaking, with our relatives, we have that some sort of prestige that, okay, I'm doing something good for my country, for my society, for the people. So these are the 6 human needs in any work that we will do. Okay? So when it comes to autonomy and achievement, we need to develop trust. Right? To have more responsibility, you need to develop trust. How does trust work? It has 2 components. We have competence and warmth. Competence is how fast I can get things done. As you said the other day, the theme of this week is to get things in timely manner. This is competence. I know how to do it, but I'll do it later. Right? Or I get it done now, finalize it. The more I can get things done at a higher pace, it means the more I have competence to get things done. The more my boss will trust me, give me more responsibilities. The more I have responsibilities, the more I can get things done. The more I have autonomy, right? Freedom to do whatever I want. Other thing is warmth. How warm I am as a person dealing with other people. So if we have these 2 metrics.
Warmth يعني نقدر نقول empathy.
Empathy, right? So if we have these 2 metrics, and let's say someone is highly competent, but he has no empathy, this is, no one wants to work with this guy. He's very good, but he has no empathy, right? And you have someone who has 0 empathy and 0 competence. They call them, can I say the word here? Okay. Incompetent jerk. No one wants to work with this guy. And you have someone who is highly empathetic, but he has no skills whatsoever. But he's a nice person. Incompetent, but likable. He's nice. And then you have the unicorns, which is, they are very rare here, which is someone who's highly competent and highly empathetic, and they're warm and high. Everyone wants to work with this guy. And by research, they found that if people are highly competent, but they don't have warmth, people still prefer to work with people who are incompetent, but they have empathy. Because the competence can be outsourced by someone else, or can be developed. So, look at yourself, what do you, and you reflect between you and yourself, and look, what do you fit in here? And how can you push yourself there? It's 2 different skills. Okay. So we go back to this slide just a moment, just to recap. So the more I grow competence, which is how fast I can get things done in a timely manner, and then how warm I am, I can jump into autonomy, which is a freedom. And how I can cultivate that. We'll go through this. 1, this is the exercise we will do. Now, we'll just reflect on the benefits we're getting. We'll go back to the slide just to understand, oh, where do I stand here? Where do I stand here? Okay? And then we just need, as we said, to cultivate some sort of a gratitude, to have the flourishment. We need to acknowledge what we have today in order to move forward in life. So we'll reflect on the benefits we have. We'll acknowledge the benefits that we are having. We'll cultivate the gratitude. Okay? And then we'll understand what's the expectation from SIAS for me to grow further in this organization. As this organization is going through a state of growth now, and we'll talk about this in a minute. So, expectation would be accountable. This is, I did not even discuss with Dr. Mohammed, but this is my observation throughout this week. Okay? Accountability, which has 2 metrics, responsibility and authority. Right? Now, each and every one of you have different responsibilities. Right? But as Dr. Mohammed, he might go to Bahrain, go to see the family, whatever the place will be, without Dr. Mohammed. But each one of you have responsibility. Here, where someone has to have the authority to get things done. So, it's competence, getting things on time, which will develop the level of authority to lead the place. And as we said, or as Dr. Mohammed was saying, he's developing leaders, different leaders. So, how does this thing work? Again, from my personal observations throughout this week, what matters is time, the resources, the public goods, and the resources. It's how we manage money, how we manage our time. This is the two most valuable resources here now. right? So the more you will be able to manage it in the way that the owner or the boss or the manager would like it to be managed, the more you have authority because you can understand it, right? Here, where you develop the trust, the competence, and the work. This is how things would work. So let's do this exercise. A little bit, we'll take our time, 5, 10 minutes, whatever is needed. We'll reflect on the benefits. So let's write it down, think about it. What am I getting? Where do I want to reach? Based on that, we'll know what will be the next step for my career. Because as we said, career is part of the well-being. Everyone is contributing to this new organization. And the last slide, I'll take you through something just to see how does an organization look like from far beyond. Good start, guys.
Okay, I will put that drawing as easier for them.
I have the information.
Okay.
Right, I tried a few times until I developed how to get things done. Like for example, doing the contract case study. You have the competence because you've done it over and over again. That within half an hour, you got it in a timeline. You never did it before. That was your first time. MashaAllah. Okay.
Because I had the experience.
Yes.
We should not build. Competence is not about building on something before.
Okay.
Competence that you have, they have all the things, the 4 things are hooking together, which are the skills, the training, the education, and the experience.
Skills. Education.
Yeah. Training and experience. For example, I always tell Isa, he studied to be a teacher. Okay? And now up to him, if you want to be a postgraduate, professor, like this, you need to try to use whatever he studied because this is now, it's an open plate, inspiration, economy, for multidisciplinary. So for sure he has something that we don't have, that he can add value. So we have the competence, for example, in the area of education, how it should be approached. We can add value of that area, for example. Khadija coming from, for example, an institute, Akila Practical, in marketing. So what she have something, maybe she can see something that you can't see. So each one of us have its own competence in fulfilling certain areas for SIAS. Same thing for Erwa, of course, coming also from different country, different approach.
Last thing, just to conclude, not very related to what we spoke about, but something I really like. Coming from a medical background, I like anatomy. I like things to be dissected and look at everything from inside. So this is how a company looked like if we would dissect it. You have the context, the first thing, which is, let's say this is the responsibility of the owner. The context, what's happening in the country, what's happening in the world, how can I align and go toward that direction. Then you have the vision, how I see the place going. What is in my direction? Based on that, I take decisions today based on where I want to go. And the strategy, what are we not going to do to reach there? What are we going to do to reach there? And the purpose, why are we doing what we're doing? How are we doing it in daily practice? And then the identity of the people. So people who work here should be handpicked to contribute to that strategy, contribute to that vision. And how does things work? Any company has 2 components, or have 2 C's. You have the components and conditions. When it comes to the components, you have first the people, right? Who are the people that working in this company, their identity. And then the culture, as Dr. Muhammad said the other day, the common language, the whistle, right? How we do things together. The theme of the week, for example. And then you have the formal organization, the documents, the processes, how we do things, why it is written here, why no one should drink or eat during the place, why we have the green board here. Everything has an importance. That's the system we have. the place has to be able to operate. So you have these things working together, right? And then to get things done and move forward, we have the conditions and the advocacy of the organization. We have the motivation of people. They should be motivated to get things done. You have the competence of the people, as we said, and then the coordination. Someone, if only one person is highly motivated and he's competent, the other two are not working with them. They're not delivering their tasks on a timely manner. They're not showing up on time. They're not supporting that person. There is disruption. There's not, especially if there's no communication.
No symphony.
No symphony. Okay. So you need to develop these things. It always starts by the people who are here, right? When they work together, when there is harmony between them. And then, next step of that thing is, and all of this happening here just to create value. And the value this entity wants to create is to have an impact in the world, right? To change the world to a better place. That's why we have that chant we had after the workshop or after the training exercise we did today. The pledge, right? And then to get things done, we need to be effective and efficient, right? And when it comes to effective, it's based on efficiency. That's why we need to measure the people's strength, right? That we need to make sure that we don't overpress. We need to be efficient for this to be more profitable, more sustainable, right? And then we have the value creation activities. What are they? It's the workshop that we're doing today, right? The workshops that this organization is doing is not the goal. It's just a tool, right? To create the value. So the value creation is to make people think in a better way, bigger perspective. The workshop are the value creating activities only. The degrees are the value creating activities. If I'm not mistaken, this is my analysis, right? So this is how things work in any company. So same concept. We zoom out. We look at it from outside. This is
from where you got this model?
upper.
Huh?
Upper.
يعني who's the reference? أبنى reference. We might use it for. Okay. Finished? First, let's give a applause for. Is that we should be planning her work. Write it down. We should be planning for people like this. And also, I told you, one of the purposes I'm preparing for Ahmed to come, and I did the program. And everything that we have something opportunity, we should optimize it to the most. Okay. Now we don't have resources. The country is very difficult to get easy money from the country. So we have to be dependent on the work people who come from outside for internship. They're coming for visiting to explore. Doing for them a semi-tourism program, which is we call it educational tourism. Okay, these all need to be included. And I feel he have done what he wanted, and we have done also what we wanted, which is good. This is not rarely done. Okay, I was hoping he can see our projects and so on, but we don't want to push things just for the sake of pushing it. But he's seen now how the project starts at least. Okay, especially we are in a transition stage in our mindset. Yeah. So this is a very good, important thing. We should market now this. We have this visit and we should put it in our website. So I expect from you some write-up in that area, using the program, using whatever I told you now. Okay, and send it to me today. Work on it now and send it to me today. Then later I'll improve it and I'll send it to you and so on. Okay, Khadija will be involved also in this issue, inshallah. And easy. Now, the other thing that I would like to say, and Ahmed, he should give us feedback also, what he was expecting from us. Okay, maybe this one form, you should do it, Harwa, since now we know our format, or Khadija, together with Khadija. Okay, feedback form, like we have the one which is for the workshop, you can use that one, take some ideas from it, and do it. I want you to learn, guys, and I don't do for you these things. Okay, then the more you take, okay, the more you are going to get what is the. And I can see, frankly, okay, maybe because I am the owner, I can see the only problem you have is the money. Okay, the other things are available for you. The status, each one of you is getting a status because this is a prestigious institute. Okay, I was talking today to this African Union. they were saying it will be a unique one. Okay, inshallah, but hopefully you get accredited. If they're not accredited, they will accredit us also, they say. Even if we don't accredit that much. And they are very impressed. They want me now to come to Mauritius to train people, deans for universities, for multidisciplinary in November. So this shows, and we are in a head start. Already we are in a head start. Okay, and we didn't do anything yet. Yeah, we are just now putting the base. Yeah. Okay, so all of you are getting the chance to be, some of you vice chancellor, like I was saying to Khadija, some of you the head of projects and research. Okay, maybe Herwa will be taking over the administration and marketing and so on. Okay, even Saeed, I'm telling you, did I ask you every day? I said down Ahmed, I said, Saeed, Shaddad, what should I do for them? What should I do for them? Then for me, I don't want them to feel that people can come after them and they pass them far away. Okay, and this will happen unless they work on themselves very strongly. Okay, and we know where we keep them. Will this guy tomorrow be our project manager? I don't know. Project for the field at least. Yes. Okay, and he can go and evaluate as per our thinking. That's something that we need to think out of the norm. Okay, even though he don't have the minimal education, but he can go and do the projects and supervise the projects, guide them for something like this. So these things we need to think about. But I mean, the autonomy, the freedom of trust, this is coming up. Okay, the morality may be okay. Then as Ahmed said, my ways I push people. They call me in these countries when I was in the government. They say this is a bulldozer. He comes and he do change. Okay, and I'm a change agent. Most of my life I teach change management and I practice change management, even with my family, with my children and so on. So some people they don't like it, but after a while they appreciate what happened to them in this journey. Even Ahmed, by the way, I didn't push him, and I seen him that little bit. He said, "Don't push me too much." Okay, so I didn't push him, but I wanted to push much more than what I'm doing, much more. But I found that since he knows that he is benefiting and he's taking his own part, let it be. Some people like this. But for us, we can't do that. For us, I'm worried about you. Okay, and worried about myself because I can bring people later who can take over your responsibilities if it's not done. Then we have a vision. Okay, and we need to. Inshallah, nothing happened like that, but this is happening. And as I said, remember, it's not about the warmth come after empathy. Because if we are sympathetic, it's a problem. Because warmth also means sometimes sympathetic. We need to be empathetic. Empathetic means sometimes we don't give people what they want. We give them what they need. Okay. A doctor, physiotherapist, he will not give you what you want. He will give you what you need. If he is a professional. If he's not a professional, he will give you what you want. Some doctors, they know that the patient, they like more medicine, they will give them more medicine. Okay. So this is very important and I think this way. Now, so this is, thank you Ahmed for this effort. Now, as I was telling you, for your model, I'll go back to your model. عشان you know the interpretation. See, always I am afraid. And we are a copy of others. Yani this one is a copy of other people. It's based on, again, Maslow. This is all Maslow.
Yes,
Maslow pyramid, which is very materialistic, based on a human greedy. Okay, not a human really development. Okay, based on a growth, not development. Okay, and not advancement. Why? Because at the end of the day, this is why capital economy is like this now. If you have money and you protect your need, and for that you can see even the pyramid is made of the human essential needs. Okay, the human essential needs is comprehensive of all of these together, plus whatever he said here today. Okay, yani these are, as I said, for example, if now you guys you see only the money. Okay, compared to whatever the salaries, whatever you're giving me today, the money will not increase. If you're giving me whatever, you're going to continue whatever you're giving me now today. If you are giving me something better, then I will give you something, but maybe I will not give you money. Because for me, it's not only for me, you are not for money.
Yes.
Supposed to be. Okay, you guys, and the three of you at least now. Okay, you are supposed to be leaders. Now, if you don't want to, then I will end up with using only the money. The balance today, by the way, the chart of today is not less important than the chart of yesterday.
Yeah.
It is very important. Okay. Then all of it complement each other. And from the first day when I sit down and Dunya written some of the ideas and brainstorm and so on. And we might, everybody, even some people who will come from Nigeria, from different countries, Kenya, whatever, maybe we can't give them the salary they want, maybe they teach them, but we tell them, you can join the program and study. And get another PhD. And this apply for you. Okay? Because you can imagine how much you can pay for this program. Also and so on. But if you want to end up for money, if I say, this person is for money, and this I don't know now about you, this will be clearly when we start the programs. Okay? Then you don't expect, and I give you you study in my program, and at the same time I give you very high salary. Okay, so we have to compensate here between this and this, because we have some of your time will be for studying also, not for contribution and so on. But doesn't mean, again, if you are making money, it is not meant, this organization, I not meant to take money to Bahrain. Bahrain does not need this country money. Okay, Bahrain already have, Bahrain or Arab world or anything. But we're meant to bring money, but we should not always bring money. That's my goal. And this can happen only through your keenness to do that. And always for that, sometimes, you say, whatever you say, sometimes pain me, and I feel like I'm not caring, but I'm caring. I tell you, no, you don't feel the pain, and you don't know how much I'm sacrificing. Okay? I am a guy who's selling my assets now, just to make this sustainable. That much. Okay? And I want it to be sustainable, not based on me, based on you guys. And you know where to invest more and so on. So I wanted to balance this. Am I growing up, as Ahmed was telling us today, am I growing up in my needs and self-esteem? Okay, my needs now is the minimum, okay, but not poor. Because yesterday Isa was saying poor, but don't say poor, you are not poor. Compared to the other people today in the country, you are getting the minimal salary like them, you are not less than them. Okay, you are getting better prestigious. And you're not paying housing, for example, for you now, at least temporarily. Maybe later you don't pay housing. Maybe all of you, okay, maybe, except Khadija, maybe. Khadija is already married, so she's there. But I'm saying some of you who want to live here, later if we buy the extra and make housing, that can be a solution for you. Now, this is what I just wanted to explain to you guys here. But I will go back now and explain how inspiration economy sees that. If we go to this one, the well-being, okay. First of all, the concept of well-being for us is the capacity, okay, to have a meaning for life purposefulness. Okay, that's number one. This is for inspiration economy. Number two, it is based on not how much I contribute to the community, especially that community one is really very alarming. The way you explain it, the way the capital economy explains it. You know what I want from the community is good for me and something like no. It is how much I contribute. If I want to have a better well-being from my study now and what the research I have done, it is all about how much you contribute to the community. When you contribute to the community, your well-being will be better. Many people are now, they don't know how to be selfless. They are so much selfish. Okay, and now I'm trying to be, by the way, selfish, but it's very difficult for me because I am used to be selfless. Believe it or not, this is what I have done all over my life. At least from 2015. Again, I correct that. I've been selfless. Many people say you are crazy, or you are having money laundry, or something, or doing something strange, out of the norm. Okay, but I think because I got to know my well-being is related, and there is some selfishness. I know that if the day I stop contributing to others and working really dedicated to a job, I'm paid for a job for a physiotherapist, I'm paid for a job for marketing, I have to be highly dedicated to that because this will make for me self-satisfaction. Whatever I'm getting, I deserve that money. I deserve that. That's one thing. Second thing, I'm learning as I'm going along. from the organization and so on. So, but the most important thing, I see where is my role, wherever am I? I am inside the organization, or I am directly dealing with the company. I am with the community, and I am doing contribution to the community. The more I do contribution, the more I understand who am I. If I want to understand who am I, whether my physical, see, when I explain it this way, if you notice. I'm not happy about my physical, not because I can't do exercise or running, no.
Because I cannot contribute.
I cannot go to the mountains, the Nepal. That's what is my measurement, you see. Okay. And for that, I think this will balance itself when we start to do more contribution to the work. So, I have lots of things about that, but I think this is in a summary to comment on this thing. Now, my career, it has to fit not what I do or what is my manager want. No, is it relevant to my life purpose for myself? Okay. And it's very hard for a person who stay in a place where he feels it's not relevant to his life purpose. Okay, this is the pay. Okay. One job to the other. The day I feel I'm not contributing, it's not relevant to my life purpose for this. Okay, that day I leave. Okay, that day I leave. That day, not even second day. That day I leave. Then I say, oh, but someone else can do it, and then it's I reach my goal. Okay, so thank you very much, Ahmed, for that. Really, I'm very impressed with the presentation and the way you prepared it, and he managed to make me underestimate what he gonna present for us. Okay, but mashallah, very good. So let's give him again another applause.
Also to know our safety needs. Yeah, which is something that is we will always need in our life as long as we're still alive.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Are we to be aware of it as well, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, just work on the form then, guys. The form for feedback for Ahmed. And maybe you can fill it. You can send it electronic. Send it by word. If you don't have time because now we leave, you can fill it for you later.
We have time. I'll just finish a few things before.
Yeah, okay.